Now, Joanna Gaines and her new show, Mini Reni. Our Lori Bergamato went to Texas to get ideas for small updates you can do to your home that make a huge difference. And with this Mother's Day weekend almost upon us, she also got a tutorial on making the perfect bouquet. And Lori is here with all of that. Hello, Lori.
Hello and good afternoon, my friends. That's right. Joanna gave us a behind-the-scenes look at the big inspirations that brought her tiny designs to life.
I love the garden because it's tucked away in the corner, so it feels quiet and magical. But once you go out there, that's where the fun starts happening.
Waco, Texas, home to one of television's most successful interior designers and businesswomen, Joanna Gaines.
Are y'all ready to see your fixer-upper?
Together with her husband, Chip, the power couple has created a home reno empire.
Super functional in here, interactive, and just really sweet.
Now, Joe's next project, Mini Reni, is tackling mini renovations in a big way.
I love tackling these smaller projects. Those kind of smaller projects remind me of like our roots, where we started.
You're so known for doing these large-scale, huge renovations. What really set Mini Reni apart for you?
I think for me, it's showing people, just because I know that everybody wants home to feel special and unique to their story. Like a lot of people, I mean, especially for me in the season of life I'm in with my children now getting older, you know, I've heard a lot of people that are like empty nesters. Like I have all these rooms and I don't know what to do with them. And I love this idea of reimagining your spaces. It's about your story is always changing. So how do you invest in your space?
One source of inspiration, the garden.
So I like to call the farm like my test garden, where I'm testing out blooms and flowers. And then if I really love it, then the team will plant the same variation here that season that's following.
Joanna says nature is one of her greatest teachers. She loves to bring the outdoors in.
I feel like what the garden is telling me, it's giving me permission to, you know, play with color, to add those different layers of texture.
These vibrant, fresh scents of spring are showcased in the Herbarium, a mini Reni you'll see this season. We got a sneak peek.
Wow.
So this is like the little workshop area. This was originally just a white shed that we moved to the property. This used to have like all of our inventory in it. And I really wanted the guests to be able to come in and experience some of the magic that I get to do at the farm, which is pressing flowers, preserving flowers.
Tell me more about how you turned this from a little white shed into this beautiful, magical workshop.
Yeah, I think what I love about this space is it shows people it doesn't have to be perfect. I left the plywood because I didn't want to spend the money on the drywall. So you see this is painted plywood. And then I just added this little bit of trim to bring a little dimension to it, to just make it feel a little more refined. It can be imperfect and still be really cool.
That perfectly imperfect message.
Yes.
I love that you're giving people that license.
I mean, I think the older I get, the more of those layers, the more it just reminds me of this is our story here at the farm. This is who we are.
Joanna's tip, start at the micro level.
The first thing I always like to do is ask my client, what are their 3 words? Because for me, it's if I can take those 3 words, then I can really start to hone in on color choices, texture, style.
Another tip, mood boards can help focus your vision and take away the fear factor.
What have you learned, and can you tell people that it doesn't have to be scary?
Yeah, I always say, if this is your first time doing this, start small, whether that be your powder bath or your entryway, just to start getting, you know, that confidence. So setting aside a little fund over here for mistakes, that 10 to 20% that you're expecting you'll probably spend.
And for a great way to spruce up your space, flower pressing.
So what's funny is in life, I'm a minimalist, but with this, I'm a maximalist.
Oh, okay. First of all, this is so meditative.
Joanna says you can use old frames from around the house, put them inside thank you notes or as name cards around the table.
I have the bouquet, I have your maximalist bouquet, and you have your minimalist. That's so sweet.
Thank you.
That is so pretty.
I loved doing this.
And with Mother's Day this weekend,
you're going to teach me how to arrange some flowers?
What a fun morning. I'm like, we should do this every morning. Sorry, I'm going to make a mess. Okay, I like this Orlia because as you see, it's flowing out. It's not straight up.
And if a garden isn't accessible to you, Joanna says go to your local grocery store.
And it looks like I saw you cutting a little bit. So
Yeah.
you do want these varying heights,
Yes.
right? Okay.
I like to think about how it's growing in the garden, and again, I don't want everything to be the same height.
With Mother's Day coming, I mean,
Yes.
I feel like everything can get really expensive. This feels like a way to gift your mom, to make an arrangement that's from your heart,
Yes.
not super expensive, right?
I think that it's the sweetest thing, especially for me. I've got 5 kiddos. To me, my favorite gift is whether it's just a stem or a bouquet of flowers or a note. It's something that simple that I think goes a long way. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Oh, she was fantastic. And Eva, so many of the things that she showed me, you can actually do at home. In fact, Joanna gave me this book she uses when she travels. It's a field press book, right? And she takes dried flowers from wherever she goes. So if she goes on a vacation with her family, and you can relate to this, she's like, I have 700 pictures of the same thing. She's like, I wanted something that was more tactile, that I could press in this book, and that was more of a keepsake for me. I could hang it in my home, put it in a frame, do something with it that will give myself and my family that memory forever.
Also, it's beautiful. So what more can we do with these pressed flowers?
So you see that we press them here, and then there's also bookmarks, a great gift if you have somebody who's a big reader. There's necklaces and frames, and you don't have to get a special frame, although you can get one like that. Joanna said you can use any frame that you have in your house. You can just mat it on paper. There's earrings. There's so many different, really thoughtful gifts that you can give. And using the flowers is a really sentimental and personal way to express your love for someone.
And we were talking about how it just looks bougie and fancy.
It does.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
And you can shop for these items right here by clicking on the QR code on your screen. Mini Reni series premieres on May 14th on Magnolia Network and Max.